So we begin new chapter and new section. So we moved away from Karma Yoga and we step into Bhakti Yoga. As I was explaining last time, we have 18 chapters, six chapters in each section. 6 chapters in the Karma Yoga, Khanda, portion or volume, if you will. There is Bhakti Yoga, another volume, 6 chapters, and 6 chapters to Jnana Yoga. These divisions of Karma, Bhakti, and Jnana, they cover all our major sections or needs of consciousness, of our will, emotion, heart, and knowledge. So we are moving into the emotion part, into the heart part. Why it is located in the middle, it's another question, not at the end, if it is to be at the end, but because the heart part is in the middle, it is connecting heaven and earth, yeah? The will and the realization of ourselves, or the word and the meaning of the word. So that has to be in the middle. So here it is. Atha saptamo dhyayaha jnana vijnana yoga. So it is yoga of vijnana, of discrimination, of jnana. Interestingly enough, that Bhakti Kanda begins with the yoga of discrimination or discernment of self-realization. It's also a very good indication of what Sri Aurobindo says about it, that actually the Bhakti Yoga comes after realization is achieved, after jnana is realized. Because how can you love somebody if you have no idea what it is? You have to have some realization of it, yeah? Or some knowledge of the divine to love the divine. How can you love the divine if you have no understanding of it or no knowledge of it? It is impossible.
Hey, Vladimir, since we're starting over discrimination, how do we discriminate between love for God and or spirit or self-realization here with a person?
Person. Well, difficult question, yeah?
Yeah. Right. Maybe it'll come through in the next 6 chapters. I'm not putting you on the spot. I just thought maybe, yeah.
I don't think love for person is that very love of which we can have as we have for the divine. Love for person is some kind of preference, liking, something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Mother says when people say, I love you, which probably I said this before, the vibration comes the same as they say, I hate you.
Okay.
That may answer your question. Yeah?
That does answer a question, but then what stimulated the question was like a child, because it's like, how can you love something if you don't know it? But then everybody loves their little baby, and that's slightly different. So anyway, maybe it's another.
All right. Oh yeah. No. Well, baby is a very different thing. It is your part of your being. It's part of your body. It is, it is innocent. You love the innocence, the purity, all those qualities of the soul we are trying to find out discover in ourselves. You love in the babies, in the innocent beings. Mm-hmm. The same we feel love for babies of animals, small kittens and deers and so on, bambies.
Right.
We feel emotionally uplifted, purified when we see these beings behave or how they perceive the world, and through their perception we feel that innocence and love, just purity in our heart. So I don't think there is a big question. I thought you were asking about love of man to woman or woman to man, and there it is something else. When there is sexual element involved, then Mother says about this, and when people say I love you, the vibration which comes is as if they say I hate you. And there is a reason for it, because their love is possessive. It wants to enjoy the person for oneself. It doesn't want to give oneself to the person. Yeah? It wants to grab and to take the person as a victim of one's own enjoyment. And that is
Very good.
the same as, abusing the person, hating.
So it totally makes sense. I mean, people say I love you, and next year they're getting a divorce, and they say I hate you because you did something. So yeah, I certainly get it. Yeah.
Or people may say I love you, and then they will make your life miserable after that. You will pay for it for the rest of your life. For the I love you one.
Oh, very good analogy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed a good laugh.
Better they don't say anything and behave. But it's always with this possession. When there is a sexual element, the sexual element comes from the lower nature. And Mother says between the heart, the love of the heart, the love in the heart, and the sexual love and desire, there is an abyss. Abyss. They never come together. This idea that these two may come together somewhere, in some very happy couple, it doesn't work that way. So,
I know someone once said to me, he says, well, what are you looking for, sex and romance or love? Because they're two different things.
Of course, very different. Love has no claim over the person. It wants to give oneself only. It doesn't want to be there all the time around and use the opportunity for oneself. It is not love. The real love, when these crusaders, when they were going for the war for 20 years somewhere, to impress their beloved from the balcony, they saw the beloved only once, and then they went for crusades, wars for 20 years to come back heroes. That is love. It has nothing to do with marrying, and making children, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Of course, there is element of love everywhere, in everything. It doesn't mean that it should not be there. It is there, but not in that form, what people think.
Well, exactly. Thank you for that other part. Yeah, love is always there, but not in that form. Right.
Right. That form is it's just the opposite. It makes something very difficult for love to sustain. And in spite of it, it may sustain. And in spite of it, it may, try to live there for a while. But the best examples of this love are, of course, in Shakespeare. If you take Romeo and Juliet or some of his writings, you will find that love and life are very difficult to reconcile. Yeah? Life is a constant bargain and constant, how to say? Hi, Juliet. Just now
Hi,
talking about Julieta and Romeo and Eugene.
And Juliet arrives.
Another story.
Where is Romeo? He went to work.
Work. Work.
Work. Modern day Romeo and Juliet work. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So when I read Shakespeare, I understood that real love cannot sustain. They have to die. The death is the only ultimate, how to say, probe for real life, or for real love. The same is in Savitri. The real love has to be probed by death. There's no other way to really sustain it. Love has to overcome death, and then it can endure. Otherwise, it will fade away. It's a deep, profound philosophical question of why love is here. Love is here to conquer death. But,
Wow.
yes, ultimately it will happen. But how many of us are ready to do it? Yeah? So we fall for something smaller, for pleasures. Pleasures are not love. Pleasures, comforts, fears, conventions, and all that, what we call marriage or partnership or companionship or friendship, whatever you name it, it will
Right.
have something of it. A very small miniature of vital pleasures. And Mother says between this sexual desire and the psychic love, there is the abyss. They never come together. Sex and psychic. Whenever there is sex, psychic will be turned away. It will be discouraged. It will withdraw deep within. It doesn't like this type of relations. It's very interesting. People mix up this totally, and in all our understanding of love, watch the movies, and you will see that love and sex go together. Yeah? It's absolute misunderstanding.
Right.
Well, sorry to be so kind of radical with this question, yeah? Because since you asked the question, I try to answer it. What is this divine love, which is rising from the heart? Yeah? It's the love for the truth, love for bliss, for the divine consciousness, for the best can be in the world. It cannot possess anyone. It doesn't want to possess anything for one's own pleasures. It doesn't have this consideration altogether. So here we are in this chapter of love. And the first chapter, 7th one in this section, is called Yoga of Discernment of Self-Realization, or Yoga of Discernment and Self-Realization. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Maya Sakta Manath Partha Yogam Yunjan Madashrayaha Asamshayam Samam Grammam Yathajnasyasi Tatshreno. The one who attached himself to me, O Partha, who does yoga, who seeks me all the time, who finds refuge in me every time. Asamshayam, without any doubt. Samagrammam, totally me. Yathajnasyasi, how you shall know. Tatshrenu, listen to that. Listen to that, how you will know me totally, O Partha. Now, there are few conditions before. This is attaching your mind to me. Maya Sakta Manah Partha. Yogam Yunjan, totally, constantly connected. Madashrayach, finding refuge in me every time, all the time. So there are 3 stages. So just for the first time I see. First you attach your mind to the deity, to the divine. Second, you keep that constant connection, yogam yunja, and then find total refuge in the divine. That means absolute surrender. There is no your will, there is only the divine will. You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of the 3 liberations of Karma Yoga, only on Bhakti level. You remember 3 liberations on Karma Yoga, in Karma Yoga? First is freedom from the fruit, from the attachment to the fruit of action. The mind is attached to the result. Now the mind has to be attached to the divine. This is first here, see? The one whose mind is attached to me, not the fruit. Second, yogam yunjan. So doing yoga, instead of doing actions, instead of being involved in preferable actions, one has to be free from preference in action. Instead of that, one should do yoga. One should take care of being connected to the divine always through the action. And the last one, freedom from the actor, madashrayah, or the one who finds refuge in me, for whom I am the doer, not he. Very similar to that what Karma Yoga was revealed, what Karma Yoga revealed to us. I didn't see this before. This is nice. The realization of the self is already implied. The mukti, the liberation, is already there. You cannot do this without being liberated. You cannot find your refuge always in the divine. You cannot attach your mind only to the divine unless you already have the divine, unless you already realized the divine. Then you can attach your mind to the divine. So we have a huge leap, a huge jump over the whole process of self-realization, which will come in the last 6 chapters. We will read them at the end and we will see how they fill in this vision. Here it's the result of that self-realization. So how you will know him? Shri Krishna wants to say how the way how you totally, Arjuna will totally know him. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyami asheshatah yajñatva neha bhuyon yad jnatavyam avashishyate. And he speaks about self-realization all the time. In the Bhakti section, because Bhakti is not possible without self-realization. So, according to Sri Aurobindo. By the way, without Sri Aurobindo's commentaries, this would never be cracked, what I'm saying now. This is not visible. In the text, it is not understood. The words are sounding very similar to everything else what people speak. But this subtlety, that love can come only after you realized what the divine is, that subtlety is given only by Sri Aurobindo. So, jnanam teham, this self-realization, this knowledge for you, I, savijnanam, together with vijnana, together with discernment, vakshyami, shall speak, asheshatah, without a remainder. Yajñatva, knowing which, na iha bhuyonyat, there is nothing else here, jñatavyam, should be known, avashishyate, is left to be known. Nothing here is left to be known. So he will say something profound here. What has to be realized and discerned, after which there will be nothing known, nothing left to be known here for him. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tatvatah. Among thousands of people, hardly one who seeks the perfection or realization. Yatatam api siddhanam, and among those who are realized, and among those who seek realization and realized, Kashit mam veti tatvatah, there is hardly one who knows me in principle. Tatvatah. So among thousands, there is hardly one who seeks the perfection, and among those who achieve the perfection, hardly one knows me. This is so rare that somebody realized the Supreme here. So we should not be discouraged if we belong to different section of these seekers of the divine. So maybe we belong to the first, those who aspire to the perfection, or those who already perfected something, and still among all of them hardly anyone knows the divine. Bhumir apo nalova yuh khammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakriti ashtadha. Now, this is in brief the whole Sankhya theory. There are Pancha Mahabhutani, 5 elements, Bhumihi, earth, Apah, waters, Analah, fire, Vayu, wind, Kham, ether, Manas, sense mind, Buddhi, higher mind, so to say, rational mind, which is beyond sense mind, and Ahankara, the sense ego, or how to put it, ego sense. Literally, Ahankara means doing aham. Aham means I. So doing I is the ego sense. Iti yam me, thus my bhinna prakriti ashtadha, my nature is built, divided into 8 sections. These are 8 sections. This is the ancient vision of Sankhya. Sankhya is much more elaborate, but this one is the essential view. In one shloka, the whole Sankhya philosophy is here. Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Apara iyam, this is lower prakriti. Itach tvanyam, and from here another prakritim, another nature, vidhime, no, my. There is another nature of me above this nature, which is higher, param. You should know it as the supreme, transcendental nature. Jiva bhutam, she is of the nature of the soul. Mahabaho, almighty armed. Yaya idam dharyate jagat. And by this nature, this world is upheld. The world is upheld by this nature, which is beyond, by this supreme nature, which is made of the soul. Etat yonini bhutani sarvani upadharaya aham kritsnasya jagatah prabhavah pralayastatha. All these beings, bhutani, sarvani, etat yonini, they come from this source. Thus, you should know, iti upadharaya, aham, I am, kritsnasya jagatah, of the whole world, prabhavah, the beginning, pralayastatha, and the end. So everything is generated from that supreme nature of the Lord. He is the beginning, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Everything comes from him, everything returns into that higher nature. Mattah parataram, mattah parataram nyanyat kimchit asti dhananjaya, mayi sarvam idam protam sutre manigana eva. From me, parataram, the higher than me, nanyat, there is nothing, kimchit, there is nothing possible, nothing is beyond me, or Dhananjaya, or Arjuna. Mayi sarvamidam protam, it is on me all the worlds are, how do you say, when you put the beads, the pearls on the string, you put them on the string, it is on me, this world is like the pearls on the string. Protam. It is like the string. I am like the string piercing the bird, the pearls, holding them as on the string. Mani gana iva. Mani is the pearl, gana, the heap of the pearls, iva. Protam sutre. They are held on one string. Raso aham apsuma kaunteya. I am the taste in the waters, O Kaunteya. Prabhasmi shashisurya yoho. I am the light in the moon and in the sun. Pranavah sarva vedeshu. I am sound Om in all the Vedas. Shabdakhe, the word in the ether. Paurusham Narishu, and I am the manhood in man. It's a beautiful way of describing the divinity in the nature. Punyo Gandhah, I am pure smell, odor. Prithivyamcha, of the earth, or in the earth I am pure odor. Tejaschasmi vibhavasau, and I am the light, tejas, or the brightness in the fire. Or tejas can be also energy, or brightness. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu, I am life of all the beings. Tapaschasmi tapasvishu, and I am the tapasya, the heat of those who do tapas. I am tapas of those who do tapas. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam. Know me as the seed, eternal, O Partha, of all the beings, as the essence, as the quintessential seed of all the beings. Buddhir buddhimatamasmi. I am the intelligence of intelligent. Tejah tejasvinam aham. I am the brightness of the bright. Balam balavatam chaham. I am the force or the power of the powerful. Kamaraga vivarjitam. Free from desire and two words mean desire, and that's why I'm looking for another word to say. Raga is also desire. It's also kind of inclination to get or preference to liking. Yeah, I am free from liking and desire. Dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi paratarshaba. And this is a very interesting statement. I'm always quoting it. So I am also kama, the desire, the sexual desire, when it is not preventing dharma in the beings. So when it is not preventing, when it is not going against dharma in the beings, I am also their desire, the sexual desire, which has to procreate. Otherwise, if it would not be there, then how we would come into being? That's why in India it is so important, this marriage, and all is rotating around this marriage, how to organize it dharmically. That should not happen, a dharmic movement, that everything has to be kept in order. They're very, very particular about it. Ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasa tamasaschaye matta eva eti tan vidhi. Matta eva iti tan vidhi. Natu aham teshu temai. Whatever the states of nature, of sattva, of rajas, or of tamas, all of them come from me. Know that as such. They are from me. But I am not in them. They are in me. This is another puzzling statement. The divine is not in them, but they are in the divine. Natu aham teshu. I am not in them. Te mai. They are in me. So the whole nature is in him, not he is in nature. This would be difficult to comprehend, I know. It's impossible, really, unless the realization is there. And if you see it, then you understand why we are what we are. Why we couldn't really see and realize him here. Because he is not here. We are in him. Not he is in us, so to say. He will speak about it again in the 9th chapter, in another way. Tribhih gunamayaih bhavaih ebhih sarvamidam jagat mohitam nabhijanati mam ebhyah paramavyayam. Tribhih gunamayaih bhavaih. By these three states made of three gunas, sarvam idam jagat, all this world, mohitam, is bewildered. The whole world is bewildered by the three states of three gunas. Nabhijanati mam ebhyah, and doesn't know me beyond them. Paramavyayam, the one who is supreme and indestructible. Because of these gunas actively drawing attention of our consciousness, that we are bewildered, I mean, do not see him beyond them. Daivihi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. And this is also a very important statement. Mam eva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Daivihi yesha, the divine is this maya, creatrix, creative force. Gunamayi, made of gunas. Duratyaya, very difficult to overcome. Mam eva ye prapadyante, but those who come to me, mayametam tarantite, they overcome this maya. So one has to come to him, to the Purusha, to overcome his workings in nature. Namam dushkritino mudrha prapadyante naradhamaha. Mayaya pahrita jnana asuram bhavam ashritah. But those who do ill, ill-doers, evil-doers, dushkritinah, mudhah, who are bewildered, who are not knowledgeable, prapadyante naradhamah, the lower people, come not to me. They do not find refuge in me. They do not come to me, those evildoers and bewildered ones, lower people. Mayaya paharita jnana, their knowledge or self-realization is taken away by that force of Maya. Asuram bhavam ashritah, and they fall or find refuge in the asuric state of being, selfish state of being. Asuric in this case means they rely only on themselves, on their own strength, on their own qualities, on their own knowledge, on their own everything. It's my own, they say. I own it. You have to own it, as they speak. Own your own way. So this is Asuric way. All this, what we speak, sustainability, how to sustain oneself in this partially developed state of consciousness, is again Asuric proposition. How to endure and survive, the very survival of which we are talking non-stop about, is again Asuric idea. Yeah, 90% Asuric in our way. Nothing is wrong about it. It is just the truth. Yeah? So much more to work to become the divine. Chaturvidha bhajante mam janah sukritino arjuna arto jijnasu artharthi jnani cha bharatarshaba. There are 4 types of individuals which love me among people, among good doing people, sukritinah. There is artah, the one who suffers, jijnasu, the one who aspires for knowledge, artharthi, who seeks the meaning, the purpose, and jnani, the one who realized himself. So we can say that these are the stages of the same movement of search for the meaning in life, for the truth. Let me see how Sri Aurobindo translates it. Among the virtuous ones who turn towards me with devotion, O Arjuna, bhajante mam, who love me, O Arjuna. There are 4 kinds of bhaktas. The suffering one, the seeker for good in the world, the seeker for knowledge. Now, the seeker for good in the world they put before. In the text, the seeker for knowledge is before, and then the seeker for good. Yeah? Or if the seeker for good is not totally correct, artharthi, the one who is looking for the meaning or the purpose, aim in life. And jnani, the one who adore me with knowledge. Now look how Sri Aurobindo puts it, or maybe somebody else for him, who adore me with knowledge. There is no other way to adore the divine. If you do not know who he is, how can you adore him? Knowledge is self-realization. After realizing oneself, you know that the divine is, then you can love the divine. But how else you can love the divine? In fear of having some troubles? It's not love. Yeah? Or somebody told you that you have to worship the divine, the idol. You go to church, to temple, do this every day. You got the habit. Is it love? It's a habit. Or you exalt yourself in your vital, you start exalting, as they do in these, shows, especially shows of Christian shows. Have you seen this, what they do in America? This is horrendous, what they do there. It's incredible. These shows are coming to Norway, so I saw them. What a misery. Those people, they go into ecstasy, ecstatic state of laughter, crying. They start shouting how they love Jesus. And there was a Jesus, and he took me. And everybody's in ecstasy. You have to see it. And the one who leads all this show, he calls for donations, and there is on the screen you can see how many dollars are coming in while the show is going on. And now he looks at this when in this ecstasy of self-righteous exaltation, the numbers start running faster. Then the person, through tears and through ecstatic laughter, cries, now we are talking, showing on numbers. That people send money more and more in fear to be punished, in fear not to be accepted. Poor people sitting there in Norway in their houses. This has nothing to do with love, of course. It's not bhakti. It's some kind of perversion of the vital. Maybe partially behind there is some love trying to go through all of it. But I didn't want to make more fun. I make much more fun of these. But today I just don't feel like making fun of them.
I have a joke for that too. You want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
So the evangelist is standing on the stage and says to anyone that has an ailment, wants to be cured, come to the stage. So this fellow comes up with crutches, and he can't walk, he says, and he blesses him. He says, you go behind this curtain. When I call for you, you come out, you will be healed. He says, anybody else in the audience? And another guy comes up and he stutters. He says, I bless you. When you go back there, you're going to speak clear. So first guy
anticipated.
So the name of the guy with the crutches is Freddie. So the other guy's name is Joe. So when they're all sitting behind a curtain, and he says, "Okay, Freddie," he says, "I want you to throw the crutches over the curtain and come walking out." So the crutches come flying over the curtain, and Freddie doesn't come out. And he calls him, "Freddie, come out! Freddie, come out!" And then he finally says, "Joe, what's Freddie doing?" He goes, Freddie fell down." Oh, that was just perfect timing. That joke's not funny unless we're just after what you just said. So anyway.
No, yeah, you have to see how they do this. Yeah, it's horrendous. It's unbelievable that people are buying it, but there is no other way.
Right.
Yeah, there is no other way for people. What should they do? They do not know the divine, so they have to believe. Yeah, believe in somebody says to them, and they believe. Of course, that belief does miracles, of course.
Well, and this teaching goes deeper because you can't love the divine with your senses. And this is the realization that I just started getting through this teaching this morning. It's like, you're right. It has to be through knowledge. You can't just, otherwise you become evangelist. I feel good, or I feel bad, or he did this, or he did that. Then I believe, and then I love him. No, that's not how it is.
Yeah, or they come and say that we have good news. What good news? You can be saved. I can be saved. I am saved. Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to be saved. Saved from what? From eternal hell. Oh my God. Why should I go to eternal hell? Because what? So these ideas, of course, they are made up by people. On the basis of fear, people join the religion. They buy tickets to heaven, as it was done in Jerusalem when tickets to heaven were sold. Jesus was so angry with them, he destroyed all that bazaar with tickets. Anyhow, this is not love. And maybe it is a desire or fear, vital, senses which want to survive and are afraid. But love comes from the heart. It is a pure state of bliss, of self-giving, and there's nothing to do with this fear. All right, we can maybe stop here on this chapter 16. These four we have to analyze again. Sri Aurobindo writes the whole chapter about these four. We have to look into them. Maybe next time we will take and look into what Sri Aurobindo says about these four. Or maybe I will send you the link, you read for yourself, and then we can start our discussion from these. Who are these four bhaktas?
Good idea. Yeah, please send it.
Yeah. Why suffering is first, and seeking for knowledge or self-realization is second, and so on. And he will tell one more, and that would be a good place to stop. Tesham, of these all, jnani, the one who realized himself, nitya yuktah, constantly connected with his higher self, eka bhakti, with one bhakti, with one love, vishishyate, is becoming most, how to say, stands out or is superior to all. Priyohi jnanino tyartham aham cha mama cha priya, whose bhakti is all concentrated on me, is the best. He loves me perfectly and is my beloved. Aham sa cha mama priya. I am for him and he is for me, the beloved. So among all these, Jnani stands out. He is the superior to these other, suffering, seeking for knowledge and seeking for meaning in life. All right, we can stop here, and if you have some questions, observations, something to share, you're most welcome. We read quite a few.
Yeah, it was very interesting when you're talking about the abyss between the heart and the sex. I mean, it gave a stronger definition of maybe celibacy, unless shouldn't even have thought of that. It makes it a little more sense for celibacy, in a sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
In that sense, of course, it is what it does, but it has to be done properly. Brahmacharya is not so easy to do because people think, and he will speak about it, he spoke already, mithyachara, if you remember, the one who follows in vain the path. Because what he does, he suppresses his indriyas outside, yeah, but he has them inside activated. So he has imagination, he has all those enjoyments in the subtle way of the same indriyas.
Right.
You don't have to go outside for this. There is no... So it is mithyachara, it is the one who does in vain yoga, because he doesn't do yoga. And there are unfortunately too many of these mityacharas nowadays, because you cannot overcome nature so easily.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Somebody asked Sri Aurobindo about this also, that whether with serious, it's in Puranis, evening talks, with serious face, is it really that you are doing something wrong if you have sexual relations with some lovers or with your wife? If you have only with your wife, are you okay with that? With lovers, it is not okay. Sri Aurobindo said there is no difference for yoga for whom you do sexual relations. So, wife or no wife, lover, no lover. Even I would extend even more. It is in the mind. If in the mind it lives, until it is totally cleaned up. And you don't have it in the mind, you don't have it in the feelings, you don't have it in the body. That is brahmacharya. You're totally pure and clean and free from this desire, which is quite an achievement, I must say. Struggling all my life, I know what it means, and it's not an easy achievement. And the battlefield can be lost many times during this fight with nature. For women, for some reason, it is easier than for men. Maybe because they are made differently or something. They are better bhaktas. They are better yogis. I would say that women are really better for this path. It's really hopeless in a way. Not all, of course. Some of them are great, but women have more chances.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I agree. I've met women that are much stronger in that area, and only they could speak to us.
Yeah, and if you see now how many women are there trying to study yoga, meditation, you will see that there are many more than men. I remember the group from Switzerland came, 33 people came to Savitri Bhavan, and they wanted to have lectures on yoga, Bhagavad Gita, and so on. And there were 32 women, yoga teachers from Switzerland. And there was one man only, who was a bus driver, who was driving them around. Only women. Incredible. This is the situation today. Hardly any men left. It's very rare that you find men still following something or trying to fight this this battle. Usually it's all some kind of imitation or some kind of, partial interest, curiosity, but not real yoga. Very rare. Many more women I've seen in my life, they are much more inclined to do this yoga. And I think there will be more and more of them. They will be more powerful because they do not have that, urge as man has for some reason. They are more looking for security. And if they find security in the divine, that's it. They are done. All these nuns and all these, they're quite decided, at least what I understand. I can be also mistaken in this case. It could be also not so simple, but there are more chances. That's what I want to say. Okay, we can stop here for today. If you don't have anything to say, then okay, I will close. We will continue from Shloka 15 next time. Oh, it is not 15, it is 17. From Shloka 18. Okay, I'm closing. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santo Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you, Vladimir. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.